Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to answer a subscriber question that I got recently, and I told him that I would do a little video here answering his question. So I recently got a comment on the channel from a subscriber, and his question basically was he was asking if I could do a little video showing and talking about my climbing setup and why I use that. So as you guys see, I got my Cervelo R3 here behind me, and I've made some pretty drastic gear modifications to the bike. Now, I do have an older video on the channel from a few months ago if you want to look at that one too. But for any of the new subscribers who may not have seen that, basically what I've done here on my Cervelo R3 is I've swapped out. Now, this bike came stock with a 5236 mid-compact crank. Now, ideally, I would like to have a compact crank on here, but I just didn't. I didn't want to, basically waste a brand spanking new, set of chain rings. So I mean, so basically, what I've done is I basically have just replaced the cassette on my wheels, and basically I have gone to an 11 to 40 Shimano XT mountain bike cassette. Now I got this on Amazon. It was actually a pretty cheap cassette. Bought it on Amazon. It's an 11-speed cassette, 11 to 40. So that means the smallest cog is 11, which is still pretty good. Which is still really good in the flats. 5211 on the flats is still a really high speed, and 30. And I got the highest cog, 40. I can go 3640 for my easiest gear, and that's a +4 gear ratio in the back, and that's a big improvement from when I had stock on the bike. And I've done that because I just found that for myself, my body does not fatigue as quickly when I'm climbing really steep hills, and I'm talking hills that are anywhere from 15 to 25% in grade. So steep stuff. When I'm climbing those hills, at least my body does not, and my leg muscles don't fatigue as quickly when I'm spinning a real fast gear. Spinning my legs really, really quickly. I can just go faster, longer up the hills than I could if I was trying to, mash and grind out these bigger gears. And the only way that I can maintain my high leg speed, 100 cadence or above, when climbing these steep hills, is to put super easy gears on. So that's what I've done, is I've put basically as easy a gear as I can find on my bike, and this setup works really good for me. I've only been using this system now for, well, actually I haven't been using it the last few months because I've been on the indoor trainer, but I only used it for probably maybe 2 months outside last summer and last fall. But I had really good success with it, and I'm going to continue to ride this way. And as you'll see here on the bike, now the only way I could accommodate the 40-tooth cassette on my bike was to get what's called a Wolf Tooth Components Road Link, which is this little steel bracket that basically clamps onto your derailleur hanger, and then your derailleur clamps onto the Wolf Tooth Components Road Link. And this basically just gives you a couple of extra inches to work with, which lets you run bigger cassettes. So I installed the Road Link, installed the 11 to 40 tooth cassette, and it works very well. It shifts very smoothly. I mean, it might not shift 100% as crisply as, the stock setup, but it shifts certainly well enough that it's no issue for me. I mean, I have no problem shifting this bike. I think the Di2, I do have Ultegra Di2 on the bike. I think that does help. The Di2 shifts really, really good. I'm a big fan of the Di2. So that's my setup for climbing. Now, I also have my Kestrel RT800, one of my older bikes, my original road bikes. Bought that back in 2012. I have made a gear change there also, and I'm running, on that bike, I do have a compact crank up front, 50-34 chain rings. So I only have a 36. Well, if I say only 36, that's still a really big cassette. But I have a 36-tooth cassette on that bike. And as you guys know, I recently picked up a Giant TCR Advanced, and that came stock with a compact crank, which is why I went with the SL2 model, because that came stock with the compact crank. None of the other Giant TCRs come stock with that. And it comes stock with a 32 cassette. Now, come springtime, once our snow goes and winter's over with, the first thing I'm going to do is tear off that 32 cassette and put on a 36. So I'll also have a 50, 34, and 36 on that bike also. And I was recently online looking at the gear ratio chart, and according to the chart on my Cervelo R3, with 52-36 chain rings and the 11-40 cassette, so if I'm on my easiest gear, say I'm on my 36 up front, 40 in the back, at 110 cadence, I would climb approximately, I think it was 7.7 miles an hour. And conversely, if say I was on my RT800 with the compact crank up front, 36 tooth cassette, so basically 34 up front, 36 in the back. At the same 110 cadence, I would climb, I think it was 8.1 miles an hour. So we're only talking about less than a half a mile an hour difference between the two setups. So they are very close together in gear range. Basically, 36-40 is pretty much very close to being identical as 34-36, although the 36-40 is still a tad bit easier to turn over. But I think that they're close enough that they're basically the same. I mean, very, very close to the same. So I should be able to climb as effectively on all of those bikes with those setups. And like I said, the basic reason why I have the 40 cassette on the Cervelo and went to a 40 is because I don't have a compact crank on that bike. It's 52-36. So in order to kind of compensate the difference without having to buy a new set of chain rings for my bike and pretty much waste a perfectly good set of rotor chain rings, I basically just swapped cassettes, went to the 11-40, and it works very well. So that's just a little update on my current setups. I'm a big fan, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of spinning. It's changed the way I ride for the better, and I'm going to continue to ride that way. So I just wanted to answer that question here that I got in the channel. I told the gentleman I would answer it, and so here is that video. If you guys enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. I'll continue to make more like this, and as always, I look forward to seeing you guys right back here in the next video.